And let me start with this. I've been asked numerous times, Aquil, when are you going to retire? Aquil, when are you going to get out of the work you've been in for so long? When are you going to exit? And my response is, how do you retire from a life's calling? When you've been given purpose, and when you understand the value of why you're here, you become unstoppable.
That's right. Yes, sir.
You know, we talk in the streets and we always say we do it hard in the backyard. We understand that, and we try to continuously understand that when you have purpose, when you have direction, when you have vision, you don't think with eyesight, you think with mind sight. You think because you become indefinite in terms of what you can do and where you can go. When I first started the training, people used to say, well, Aquil, training is fine, but we need to do A, B, and C. How the hell are you going to manifest a certain one? How are you going to manifest a certain behavior? How are you going to hold me to a certain standard? How are you going to be able to check me? How are you going to be able to refine me without taking me through a training process to see if I can do and I can put it out there and I know what I need to know?
That's right, sir.
You have got to be trained before you can move in any direction. You have got to have foundation. You have got to have operational protocol. You have got to have the capacity to be able to look at yourself and say, I need to adjust.
Yes, sir.
You know why I've been training for 50 years? Because I've been in a constant state of refinement. I have never allowed myself to say, I got it. I have never allowed myself to say, Aquil, you have reached a plateau. Matter of fact, the more you realize you learn, the more you realize that you don't know.
That's right.
I've been fortunate to be all over the world numerous times. And let me tell you something. My vision has so grown because I realized the limitations of what I put. I always tell people we got to get out of the comfort zone and get in the combat zone.
Yes, sir.
Okay?
That's right.
It's like this. You love my rhythm, but you can't stand my blues. Okay?
Take it easy, Dad.
You know, we really got to stop waking up like we're an accident or a mistake. All of you in this room have purpose. All of you that have moved the public safety venue, community-based public safety forward, you are instrumental in changing the community. I started public safety in 1969. I was a 15-year-old young man, didn't know what the hell I was doing, but obviously I knew something because I was on a path. But, you know, I was trained and I came through a movement. I came through, brothers, that community-based public safety was not an option. It was for us automatically to take care of our community. It was for us to take care of the children and the women in our community. It was for us to collectively sacrifice and make sure that we took care of that community, that we put on board the type of infrastructure that that community needed, and to make sure that at the end of the day, we could control the narrative. My New Jersey people, Brother Damon, you heard Brother Aquila, Brother Damon is outstanding source. I'm starting to say their names. I'm supposed to stop. But anyway, I just wanted to put that out there. You have made me. I have not made you. You keep me going. Talking about retiring. Hell, I'm rewiring. Don't get this bad here. And I want to end on this, really. You know, like I said, I got knocked down and they sent everybody after me this last 6 months. And God willing, we came through and we're going to continue moving forward. But with that being said, I say this, and this is what I would like all of you to embrace. We've just begun this battle, okay? We are going to hit challenges, we're going to hit plateaus, etc. And it's through that challenge that you become who you are. It's through that journey that makes you the man that you're supposed to be. Adversity introduces you to yourself. Understand that. Adversity introduces you to yourself. And if you've never been through challenge, if you've never been through adversity, if you've never been uphill, you have been in a corner somewhere shivering because you will never become anything without that challenge. And when that challenge comes, embrace it. When that challenge comes, say you don't know who you're dealing with. When that challenge comes, say let's go to war.
Let's go.
I'm a commander. I'm going to fight my way to the end. And I'll tell you this, those people that came after me, those demons that came after me and knocked me down, what they didn't realize is they just infused me because now I'm on second gear.
Let's
I'm
go.
going high,
Woo!
I'm going faster, I'm going harder. With that being said, I love all of you. I embrace you. Anybody out there, any of you that ever need anything from me, if I got it, it's yours. I salute all of you, and let me say this, and let me end with this. I give you the supreme salute for all of your good work and your outstanding efforts. Salute.
Let's go.
BUILD stands for Brotherhood Unified for Independent Leadership. One of the components of the BUILD program is PCITI. That's the Professional Community Intervention Training Institute. It was developed to professionalize the work. We're practitioners who are engaged in comprehensive violence interdiction. We're involved in human potential redirection. We're involved in grassroots advocacy, strategic development of individuals and organizations. And most importantly, we build out processes and systems which help individuals not only deal with violence, but deal with trauma, deal with imbalance, deal with grief, and deal with the related cancers that come with this association of this canceristic destruction related to violence.
The good thing about being a part of the BUILD program, PCITI, is that no matter what role you play within this organization, you are developing at every point, at every juncture. You are constantly self-checking, self-reflecting on how you can make yourself better so that you are better for the communities that you serve.
BUILD was birthed because of the social degradation that was transpiring around the late 80s and the early 90s. We had massive community destruction, viva gang violence, interpersonal violence, external destructive violence, and so much of that was because of the foundational components that was holding the communities together. The males in the community, as well as many of the females, became part of the prison industrial complex, which was really birthed in the in the late 70s, early 80s.
I grew up in Juvenile Hall, California Youth Authority, didn't get out till I was 21, prison and things like that. So making the call from one neighborhood to another neighborhood, that was easy, you know what I mean? To call somebody like me that I grew up with, you know, and then I continued to further those relationships when I got on the streets with those guys that I grew up with in the system. So, you know, those are all natural things to do, and they had the same influence in their community that I had in my community.
And those collectives came together to use a unified strategy of sacrifice, but also a unified strategy of peace building to help deal with the systemic injustices that was going on in the community. Whether those systemic injustices were originated via individuals and interpersonal relationships or outside factors from a societal standpoint. Our goal was to make sure that we told the story, that we controlled the narrative, that the ills that was going on in the community, that our organizations collectively would be able to deal with those ills, and most importantly, provide the type of ecosystem or foundational infrastructure that would drive what individuals needed to do to make sure that they were empowered and those communities that they were a part of and served were collectively able to move themselves through degradation and through the other things that were causing the communities not to be the best that they could be.
I've been with Brother Aquil for the last 11, 12 years doing this work, intervention, prevention, public safety, community organizing, part of the project we have with the county right now in Norwalk and Hawaiian Gardens, the leadership team, really just being a vessel that God has chosen to really put the work in to really understand that nobody changes our community but us.
Myself and most of the individuals that were birthed, we came through the culture. Most of our organizations back in the day, the Black Panther Party, the Nation of Islam, the BGF, the Black Guerrilla Family, the Black Guerrilla Army, etc., were part of these street gangs that now rebirthed and reimagined themselves as political revolutionaries trying to deal with the social ills and the internal ills in the community. I was a part of that. The beauty in that, it gave me the foundational components to build out so many of the programs of social change, community empowerment that we later went on to do. What that also did was birthed in place the strategic system that we currently use now. We knew if this work was going to be validated, we were going to have to build processes and systems that other people could look to as those benchmarks and blueprints that could define not only their thinking process but their actions. One of the things in the 60s that we weren't as good as was developing those type of processes that would supersede us. I was fortunate to not get caught up in the prison industrial complex or lose my life in the process, and so with the skills that I acquired from those years being in front of the movement and in the movement, I was able to take those and use those with a refined thinking process of how we were going to move strategically in the moment of the 90s and the 2000s to move the process forward.
PCITI was formed.
My New Jersey people, Brother Damon, you heard Brother Aquil, Brother Damon is an outstanding source here. I was trying to say the names, I was supposed to stop. But anyway, I just wanted to put that out there.
Can I ask you really quick, what's the toughest, just in a kind of a nutshell, what do you think the biggest challenge right now we're facing with dealing with kind of working, you know, with the at-risk youth and getting them out? You know, the biggest challenge, if you were to put it in a nutshell.
Dealing with?
I'm sorry, the biggest challenge dealing with youth violence and kind of getting these at-risk kids sort of on a more stable course.
Well, we need a change of the thinking process. We've got to alter the dysfunctionality and the acceptance of the use of violence as a means to acquire the objectives. We need to retrain them on bringing out their greatness, giving them the platform of self-esteem, and then most importantly, giving them the blueprint and instructions where they can move forward. Our young kids are not being taught what to do, and that's the older generation's fault. And that's why elders like us have to be out here doing this work. This is not an option. This is a mandated responsibility for men to be out here in these communities directing our youth.
And you're obviously doing that. Give me a word about Taylor. Taylor, you know, working on his brothers, picking up his brother's work.
Taylor's been doing some outstanding work, parlaying on the back of his brother Bo. And, it's amazing because the community will validate the real people out there. So when you hear certain names, Taylor's, I can go on and on and on, the community is saying that these people really do the work. Yes, so we have a good relationship, outstanding relationship, and it's about unifying and all of us coming together and really making this cohesive mandate to do what needs to be done.
Cool, thank you.
PCITI, the Professional Community Intervention Training Institute, is a unique forum that was put together to holistically bring multidisciplinary collaboration of street experts to the table. We wanted to professionalize the work. We wanted to make sure that we had certification, that we had professional standards, that we had operational skill sets that would not only define how Los Angeles operated, but how the nation operated. What we have done is created a universal system of expertise, both operationally, behaviorally, etc., which defines the work. And the 18-week process is not only a transformative process for the actual work itself, but also transforming the psychological dysfunctionality that so many of the individuals that deal with violence, both past and present, have had to deal with. We're able to go in these different cities around the nation as well as internationally and help dictate the infrastructural blueprint for how some of these countries operate.
Yeah, you got that damn grin on your face, boy. Man, back off, man. I need to get this little push in straight. You got me, man? He's all in place. You wasn't over there. You guys got to put a stop on that, man. What's up with that? Man, why don't you get back?
One of the things that makes us different in the Professional Community Intervention and Training Institute, PCITI for short, is the fact that we're very proactive and practitioner-based. Although our foundation is conceptual and is based on a simulated theory, we move past where most other training venues stop at in building the skill sets and building the operational structure and building the standard operating procedures based on actual engagement that have transpired in the streets. You want to know you have the capability and the expertise to represent that professional certificate that you got. This is not a game with us, and it should not be a game with you at this point. After going through damn near 16 weeks of this, you guys realize how serious we take this and what we expect from you. But more so, it has to be what you expect from yourself.
I learned procedures as far as trying to control crowds and my hot zones, and to stop, slow down, think, and observe a situation over before just running in on something, and how to read other people's body language beforehand on what they gonna do, and I learned that listening is the best thing to solving some stuff.
PCITI offers the information, trains us as interventionists, special interventionists, and they do an amazing work because I'm a totally different person. That's class number 1. Aquil is an amazing leader, and I have to give a hand to him for what he does for our communities.
All of these skills that we're learning here is stuff that we already pretty much do in the community, except we're getting the proper keys and tools to do it. Because before, I would just walk up in a situation and just start banging on people. Basically, like, what is you doing? And now I know the proper tools and steps to approach the situation. I know to think before I just walk into something.
It's been a great experience. The common thread through all this is everyone's heartbeat, and that's to help save our communities. Sure, I'd like for people to know that in our communities of South LA that there are many good people. There's a lot of myths and stereotypes to minority communities, and one myth is that there aren't people that want to help. That's false. There's a lot of people that want to help. PCITI has given us, again, additional resources and training to do just that.
Myself and most of the individuals that were birthed, we came through the culture. Most of our organizations back in the day, the Black Panther Party, the Nation of Islam, the BGF, the Black Guerrilla Family, the Black Guerrilla Army, etc., were part of these street gangs that now rebirthed and reimagined themselves as political revolutionaries trying to deal with the social ills and the internal ills in the community. I was a part of that. The beauty in that, it gave me the foundational components to build out so many of the programs of social change, community empowerment that we later went on to do. This was the first time that I seen armed black men and women ready to stand up to deal with oppression, injustice, and the systemic issues of racial imbalance. And I seen a power base being developed that was unapologetic in standing up for the value and the respect of what black people at that time had to stand on, because we did not have anything else to stand on. Let me be real clear. The Black Panther Party was the first time that we said we we unapologetically have the right to combat a system that at that time period was designed to totally destroy more so the individuals that were in the movement. Remember, there was a social movement going on, a social narrative that was going on at the time, which was finally bringing in self-determination, self-reliance, etc. So had the party not developed and had the nation not developed, had those components not been put in place, we probably would have been, as a people, decimated because, again, the concept before, the generation before, our mothers and fathers were of the mindset of integration, were of the mindset of we're going to just try to get in that mix and hopefully they will accept us at the time. And that didn't happen, that was not happening. Especially for younger brothers like myself at the time, I was not buying in to the concept of turning the other cheek. I dang sure was buying into the concept of give me a gun, let me fight this madness, and let me do what I got to do to get some value of respect for what I stand for.
Whoa, oh, mercy, mercy me. All things ain't what they used to be now, now. Where did all the blue skies go? Poison is the wind.
You have made me, I have not made you. You keep me going. Talking about retiring. Hell, I'm rewiring. Don't get this bad And I want to end on this, really. You know, like I said, I got knocked down and they sent everybody after me this last 6 months. And God willing, we came through, and we're going to continue moving forward. But with that being said, I say this, and this is what I would like all of you to embrace. We've just begun this battle, okay? We are going to hit challenges, we're going to hit plateaus, etc. And it's through that challenge that you become who you are. It's through that journey that makes you the man that you're supposed to be. Adversity introduces you to yourself. Understand that. Adversity introduces you to yourself. And if you've never been through challenge, if you've never been through adversity, if you've never been uphill, you have been in a corner somewhere shivering because you will never become anything without that challenge. And when that challenge comes, embrace it. When that challenge comes, say you don't know who you're dealing with. When that challenge comes, say let's go to war.
Let's go.
I'm a commander. I'm going to fight my way to the end. And I'll tell you this, those people that came after me, those demons that came after me and knocked me down, what they didn't realize is they just infused me because now I'm on second gear.
Let's
I'm
go.
Going high,
Woo!
I'm going faster, I'm going harder. With that being said, I love all of you. I embrace you. Anybody out there, any of you that ever need anything from me, if I got it, it's yours. I salute all of you, and let me say this, and let me end with this. I give you the supreme salute for all of your good work and your outstanding efforts. Salute.